go. Part 16. Autem, however, moreover, however, this munus, this gift, optime sceo, I know very well, greatly, has been delatum to me. It's been given to me. It's a neuter, munus is a neuter. So this gift has been given to me, that so I should not succumb, there's the ne meaning the negative, to arduous difficulties, neve, nor project myself down, be cast down or humble or whatever, ever umquam or prostern, that's more like grovelling about, expertus means I'm tested, or I know for a fact that all dolor, all griefs, they insultant, they dance about on the cowardly people, the ignavis, but thus they cede to people with persisting characters or whatever like that. 17. Nec me gestorum painit. Neither do I have any regrets of my deeds, of my gestorums, or do I have a recollection, a recordio of my grave disgraces, Flagides disgraces. Do these things string it, do they touch me, or when I'm a menderator, when I am rejected or put in the umbra, in the shadows, or in angulus, which means corner. In another reading it's angustus, which are difficulties. Here's another vel, or after I took up the principum, after I became emperor. Quem, which, tam quam, just as, from a cognation from some is a blood relative of the calatum, of the heaven dwellers of the gods, or existmo, as I think, looks like he's obtaining his destiny of being the emperor, has defluent and flown down immaculate from his relationship with the gods. He's conservative. He has conserved his body, his mind, his soul, and controlling regens civil. There'll be civil actions in his kingdom or whatever, rather moderately, and having examinatus or rationibusses or reasonings for inferring and repelling bellums, war. So he examined all accounts before he would wage war or repel war. Temet just as if, or even though, the prosperity or the successes at the same time and the utilities, I think that's a typo, of plans, consultorums. So the outcome and the usefulness of plans is not ubique, not everywhere concordant, since the eventus, the outcomes of coeptorums, of things begun, the superae, this was like the gods again, the people above, I think that's vindicant or something. They claim for themselves these powers, or they avenge these things which have begun. So for themselves, sibi. So here's a daily dictionary from a strange site, from amendo, to keep someone away. Amendo, amendatum, to put, send away, or remove someone. Okay. Which was up here we saw earlier. Anyway, autem, however, moreover, reputans, thinking over that the finem, the end or the outcome of a just empire, or kingdom, whatever is controlling, is the commodum, the advantages, and the salutum, the safety of those of the obedient plebs or whatever, and always to the tranquilloria. I was rather propense or leaning towards, fui I was, to a tranquil resolving of it, the outcome. As you know, as nostos as for us, all licentiam, in my actions, exterminings, the termination is at the end, so he's placed them all outside the terminus, so all licenses from his actions have been placed outside. The corruptor, corruptricam, which would be with an X in the nominative, the corrupter of all things, or of things, and of character. Abio, I go away, Gordons, rejoicing, and gestiens qui, is that spelt right? Ubicumque, so he knows as he's going away that he's done everything as an imperiosa parent, as if he was a father who was very bossy or whatever. Consideratus of the dangers cast up against the republic. Steti, I stood firm-footed, fundatus, accustomed as factors to calculate to tread down the turbines or the big windstorms of fortuitousness, of fate. So he's about to leave his life, but he's happy that he's always done well, treated the Republic like he was a father, and he's trodden down all the big storms, etc. 19. Nec fatri pudibit. Neither will it be ashamed to confess. He's probably talking about himself in the third person. Neither shall I be ashamed to confess that me to die by Pharaoh by iron dudum some time ago, didici I learnt, confident fide dica. So spoken by fate in a praise sentence. This would be the prophecy. A pray means ahead, sinente is like singing, and so you might want to say that actually this is the third person. Neither did this fate speak that he should be ashamed to die, but he knew he was going to die anyway from this future there by the sword. Iacui. And for this reason, veneror, I revere the sempiternal Numens, the eternal Godheads, that not by clandestine insidious, by clandestine ambushes or plottings, nor from the asperity by the harshness of a long sickness, a longo morbum, or have an end of the damnor by someone who's condemned, do I deceive. So I'm not going from the world from plottings or long sickness or reach my end by some condemned criminals killed me, but in medio cursu. But in the middle of my course of florentium glory, of flowering glory, merui, means I've earned this, clarum, this renown you might want to say, digressum from the mundo, from the world. So this is his speech as he's leaving. Equo enim, enim's post-positive, so for, with an equal judicio, with an equal judgment, juxta jointly, is the timid and the ignavus, the cowardly, who, when they not ought to more die, they desire it, and who refugiate and who flee it when it's the opportune or the suitable time for their death. And I think it's a long one today. 20. Hac tennis, adverb in the tennis family. So, thus far sufficient to loqui to say, with vigor labenting, with the vigor of my strength slipping away. Super imperator, over the emperor, viro, it's usually post-positive, but it's the third word here. But over the emperor, creando, in the creating of a new emperor, cautiously reticio, I remain silent, lest through my imprudentia, through my unwiseness, I shall pass by praetorem a dignum person, a worthy person, or nominatum, if I name someone whom I think habile or useful or fitting, fortsetem, perhaps I will. There will be another one antiposito. So if you name someone, there might be someone who should be placed before posito anti there. And trudem, I shall push him into ultimate discriminant, into an ultimate danger or something. So he doesn't want to actually name anyone here. Ut alumnus autem, so however, moreover, as an alumnus, as a foster child, frugi, indeclinable, means honest or good. So as a good foster child, republica, of the republic, opto, I choose that a bonum post me, a good person after me, a bonum rectorum, a good ruler, should be reperied, should be discovered or found. 21. Post-take. Post these things being said, with a placid dicta, with a calm voice, his familiar resources, his opes, could be his wealth, etc., to the Junctoribusses, two people who are joined to him, as if distributing, as if he's distributing his personal, private, familiar wealth to people joined to him, by friend's marriage, as if by the Supremo Stillo, the last pen work that he's done, he quesivated, he searched for, asked for Antolius, the magistrum of his duties, so of his court, whom, when, this guy's spelt wrong again, what's his name, Salutius or something I think it's supposed to be, when the prefect Salutius responded that him to have been beatum, which is blessed, then the emperor intellected, he understood that he was dead, occisum. And acrida, and deeply or bitterly, he ingemwooded, groaned over the case of his friend, the death of his friends or his circumstances, who had been elated when he had contempt spirit. He had contempt for himself, so he didn't really care about his own life, and he was happy to go off and die, etc. 22. Et flentes, present participle plural, and so there was weeping intake amongst those, omnes all, who adherent, who were present, with his integrity, his authority integral, so his authority was still intact. Even then he increpit about, so he wrestled against them, or reproached or castigated them. Decan, saying, it is humile, it is lowly to be lugary, to be mourning, a principum, the emperor, who's a conciliatum, he's going to be reconciled or have a council with the Kalo, with the heavens and the stars. So he's off to die, going off to heaven, and they shouldn't complain. 23. Ideo. For this reason, quibus iam silentibus, with all these people being now silent, himself with Maximus and Priscus, philosophers, over the sublimity, with the highness of the enamorum of the soul, he disputed or had a conversation or a debate with its rather perplexing nature of this soul, regarding with the vulner, with the wound of his side, Sophosi, which had been dug out or wounded, it hyantated, gaped open, even latius, even wider, and by the swelling, the tumour, cohibiting, blocking the spiritum venarum. That's spiritum was probably his breath. Epota, looks like he drank gelid water, which he had potato, which he had sought, and in the middle of the night, when he was in the horror or the cold or the middle of the night, Facilius says, rather easily, absolutus from vitae. He was dissolved from life, he was taken away from life. In the Enno Aetus, in the year of his age, was Trixismo, 30 and another, so 31, or 32 if it's inclusive. He was Nates, who was born, a native amongst Constantinopolis. From his puritia, from his boyhood, usque, he was obitu, he was bereft of a parent, destitutus, of his parent Constantius, so he was destitute of a parent. I think we're almost done. Okay, so his father was Constantius, and his brother also was called Constantius, whom after his brother, Constantius' accessor, was dead, amongst complores alias, amongst many others, in the crowd or confusion, which was consumed for the successorum imperii, for the imperial succession. So it looks like now he's dead. We're going back to the beginning, saying where he was born, his boyhood. He was destitute from his death of his father. His brother was also dead, and there was a huge confusion going on, people wanting the successor, and mentioned his mother with Basilia Matre, with his mother Basilia. Now, then, she was from a noble family, Majoribus. These ancestors would be ancestors were noble of the mother as well. And that's actually the end of that chapter.